Welcome again, everybody, from the Page to the Stage Summit. I'm so glad you're still with us. I hope you are picking up what we're putting down, getting all the nuggets, the strategies, the tips. I hope you'll be motivated, inspired, and all that transformed, renewed, and just ready to operate in your purpose and your passion and do those things that you've been desiring to do. I got some phenomenal speakers that's here to help you do that because we all want to see you guys win and do your thing in this world. Today, I'm so excited to have my brother, also a professional, with us as one of our speakers. And he's going to be talking about launching, rebranding, and side hustling. But sometimes you have to do that. I want to give a quick introduction about Craig Holder. Craig Holder, first I want to say, you feel like you're not my brother, right? I'm so glad you.
No, I got you. I'm surprised
I'm
even
excited to join us and be one of our speakers.
Thanks for having me.
How's it going?
That's going good.
That's good. Okay. So let me read your intro that you have not heard. Craig
okay.
is a trainer and an IT professional by day. He, along with his business partner, Antonio, opened up a fitness studio, then transitioned to a mobile fitness business and built an online coaching platform to help others get and feel healthy. He has been a personal trainer for over 3 years and knows how much it can cost to work with someone face-to-face. Craig provides expertise at a fraction of the cost to reach the masses within his company called Coach Fit Life, with the message of being fit for a better life starting today. Did you get that, guys? Starting today. Thanks again, Craig.
So I think I need you to write for me.
Well, you know I love writing. That's one of my passions.
I need you to be my spokesperson from this point on.
All right now. Yeah. I do ask everybody to kind of explain, how do you identify your why and your purpose? And I want to know if you wrote those things down. This one question that I ask everybody. Identify your why.
Have I wrote those things down, though? I think that is a great practice. I've always had a good memory, so I've always internalized everything and I remember it and I stick to it. So a lot of things I do write, but my purpose and my whys, I always keep internal. I always remember those things. So the start of it is primarily me. Well, I have so many reasons why I wanted to do business. So
okay. Well, you can name some of them.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely gonna get into them. Number one, first and foremost, is I like business. You know, it can be competitive, but I think I like the idea of starting something and seeing it blossom and mature.
Awesome.
You know, kind of like having a child or just anything that you've done and you can stand back at it and see it progress and be something of its own. Yeah. It's just an amazing feeling. You can't, get that from anywhere else. Whether somebody pats you on the back or not, you can pat yourself on the back like, oh snap, like that's tight. Like, look what I just did. You know what I mean? Like that's the, the geekiness part of it. It's like, dang, like my stuff is live. Like I got customers now,
Yes.
that type of thing. So, but more, I like the idea of being free.
Right.
When you give your work to a company or something like that, they don't always reciprocate what you want, so, the idea of controlling your own schedule, even though, entrepreneurs, you're working, what they don't tell you is that you're going to be working a lot,
Right.
You're going to have a lot of ups and downs. You're going to have success and you're going to have failures. But, if you can build something that's sustainable and it lasts, it gives your life, gives your life a purpose. You actually have something that you're looking to obtain. You're not just existing or surviving or can to keep the bills paid,
Right.
Yeah.
You bring me to my next question.
Something and create something. And I always wanted to create something that helped people. So, I've worked at jobs where it's just about the bottom line or, they, create products and services, but it's not really making a change in anyone's life.
Right.
And I definitely wanted to build something that affected people's lives in a positive way.
That's great, because in some of the other broadcasts, I brought up the fact that sometimes you can be great at doing something on your job. It may not be appreciated or for whatever reasons, and get people to look at that could be something maybe you can start yourself. Maybe that's something you have a passion for and you can do that side hustle, business, whatever. It could be a mission, it could be a cause, whatever. Sometimes people don't think about, well, let me do that. And I understand some people don't want the responsibility and they get fearful of, oh my God, like you said, it is a lot of responsibilities. However, if you have a passion for it, that kind of drives you. Like you said, you meeting people's needs and you serving them, and that's your end result. That's the outcome you want. That alone can drive you to do what you do. Because I was going to ask you next, what motivates you to do what you're doing?
So say when it comes to responsibility, because we're all dealing with a whole bunch of things.
Right.
You don't always have to go into these things alone.
Right.
I think the African-American entrepreneur is always thinking about how they can do something on their own because they're typically alone.
Right.
Or they don't have the other resources that they believe can be helpful, to help them get this vision and make it real. But
right.
You don't have to go in it alone, and you don't always have to be hands-on. You can always attach yourself to another person's vision and apply your skills and
right.
resources to it.
That collaboration is
You
key.
don't always have to be so self-focused on just one thing. This life is yours and you can make it whatever you want it to be. You don't have to just, if you want to do one thing and be great at one thing, that's great. But if you have the mindset that you can do more, you can do whatever you want to do, and you said what motivates me?
Yeah.
Just a sense of that, of that freedom, controlling my own schedule, and just loving the art of business. I look at it, it can be something that's competitive, but in a good way,
Right.
But, being a self-starter is one thing, that, some people have challenges with, but if you have that self-drive and self-motivation, you get a kick out of, seeing the things you created progress and grow and evolve over time. So,
right.
Outside of money, that's
right,
the most.
Exactly.
That's the
exactly. So now you helping me with the questions I have. I was going to ask you to give me your definition of the mindset of an entrepreneur. Or what type of mindset an entrepreneur has that may differ from that person. We're not knocking anybody who want to work there, do their own business, because some of us are side entrepreneurs.
I still work. So
right. Some of us are entrepreneurs, but still there's a mindset that we all have.
Right.
Whether you're doing a parapreneur or you just solopreneur.
Right. It's just the love for it,
Okay.
That's the mindset. The mindset of an entrepreneur is just the love, the thrill of the game, to a certain extent.
Right.
But also the flip side is believing that you can make a change in someone's life by what you offer.
Right.
You get I get a personal sense of satisfaction when I do help them achieve their goals.
Right.
So if there was any reason that made me want to stop, I would remember of how I'm helping, whether it's my mobile clients lose weight or something. I get a rush and a thrill just like they do. If they come to me and say, hey, dang, I done lost 5 pounds this month or something like that. I'm like, yo, awesome, right?
Yes.
So, there's so many things that's fulfilling to it,
right.
And also the drive of really being successful one day,
right.
The long-term view of it that, when you want to give up, you have
right.
that vision that no, I got to keep on pressing towards that mark,
right?
Because, I believe that I can get there. I don't know what it'll be like or what it'll feel like, but I'm going to keep on driving to get to that point. Like,
right.
I want to be successful, not in a selfish way, but, if you set out anything, you want to, achieve your goal.
Right.
So I think that's number one, one, whatever that goal is, whether it's personal, whether it's business, whether it's otherwise, when you set your mind to do something and you accomplish that goal,
Right.
it feels good. I think depression and other feelings comes from the fact that, you have a vision of where you want to be and you're not there.
Right, exactly.
You always have to, press forward to be where you want to be.
Right. And you said a lot before, which I think is something that I hear a lot of entrepreneurs said earlier when you mentioned the desire for freedom, the flexibility, of course, making, money, doing what you love to do. That seems to be like the priority of entrepreneurs. They love that more than anything else. Being able to travel, spend more time with the family. Like you said, that freedom is, it's like you really hunger for that, because you're limited when you work for somebody. You really are. And I know that's usually our goal, our vision a lot of times, not all the time. Some people love the career, they're in the ideal career, but they still want to have a side hustle on the side and do what they love to do, to have the extra, sometimes it's a supplement there, what they're making on their career, to do those things they want to do. But I know the freedom is so important, because you want to have the time and you want to be able to control, like you said, that's your goal, be able to control your own time to do what you want to do when you want to do it as well.
Exactly.
But I want to go back. I want you to share your
The flip side, I was going to say, the flip side to that is, the grind, right? Because even though you want to be free, it's a cost that comes with that. And there's a grind to it. And sometimes you can feel like your life isn't your own when you're really working towards that, entrepreneurship, leadership, those type of things, you have to grow into those things. You have to actually become a leader, because you are the one leading it. And whether someone holds you accountable or not, you have to hold yourself accountable. So,
I want you to share your story of how you got into fitness. Because I know I read some of your bio about what I got, the transitioning and, feel like you were overweight, and the changes you made in your own life, and how that translated into Coach Fit life.
Well, okay, so before I started Coach Fit Life, I was already doing entrepreneurial stuff already, so I already had the bug anyway.
Yes.
So how it started was just genuinely me and two other friends coming together and decided we wanted to do any type of business together. So we sat at a table and just decided, hey, what businesses do we want to start? And my friend was already doing fitness, and he brought it up. He was like, oh, I do fitness, this, that, we can do fitness and invest in this, as part of what we would decide to do. The original plan was to do more than just fitness, and I still plan on doing more than just fitness one day. But that was the original idea. Before that time, I've done business in many different ways, doing a bunch of research and planning and making that leap forward. For some people, that's fine. They will ultimately take the leap. For others, for me personally, I think sometimes you just have to start. You just have to do it. From a grassroots, beginner's level type of thing. You just have to decide what can you do from day one and go out and do it. And that's what we did. So we started FSR Fitness. We started doing a outdoor boot camp.
Okay.
We launched, the business was started in 2014. We set out to do group classes, but we couldn't find a facility at that particular time to do group classes. So we decided to do an outdoor boot camp. So when you're talking about changes and shiftings and all that other stuff, that's an
what
initiative.
I wanted to talk about how, you transition, but go ahead.
Right. So, we could not find, no one would give us a space to do group classes. without paying a huge amount of rent. So we decided, well, let's do outdoor boot camp. We don't know what's going to happen, but we found the park, you know, no overhead. And we just waited for the spring. And when the spring came, you know, we launched it. And, you know, we had good success with the outdoor boot camp for that spring and summer. And then we decided to launch the studio. So then FSR Fitness evolved to FSR Fitness Studio. And that stayed open for a year. We signed a year lease. We kept it going. We made money, but not the money we expected. And the expenses was very, was a lot.
Yeah.
So from that point, and of course you're going to feel down because you feel like your business is failing because you know, you have this grandiose vision of what it is and it doesn't work out the way you think.
Right.
But if the ideas came to us before we did the studio, then we would have did it a little bit differently. So the ideas from the mobile training came from out of experience. So we said, well, we're going to close the studio. We want to continue to personally train. We're going to do mobile training. So we did that. We have clients. I still have clients to this day that I train. I travel to them and train them typically at their apartment gyms or something like that. So we still have that side of the business that we do. But I also found a trend of online training where, you know, I've seen trainers use social media and things like that to build a platform, and they sell products and they offer online training.
Right.
And so what I thought of was having a platform where I can have customers come and get knowledge from us, our own personal videos, our own blogs, our own content that we control, that lives forever, that people can be empowered by, not just, you know, offer the basic. I'm sorry, had an error message there.
Okay.
Not just offering just basic products or services, but, you know, a platform that really tries to empower you to live fit, but also, and this is another shift that I want to do, is just having more life coaching on that platform as well. So I really want, you know, like I said, making that difference in someone's life. So, you know, we're looking to bring that to the platform too. So we launched that last year. And also we have online coaching. So we have an extensive application behind it that you can access from your smartphone or from the website. You get meal planning, you get exercises that you can take with you. It shows you how to do it. You have us coaches that'll talk with you and work out with you and things like that. So how I got to that shift was just seeing how the market was changing, right? Offering your product to the most amount of people at a price point that they can afford, because personal training is expensive, right? So launch that is still growing. We're still looking to build our, you know, fan base. So that's another shift. So from the outdoor boot camp to the studio to mobile training to online coaching and mobile training. Also shifting the idea of how we do business, right? What we value and building culture and building a brand. Right. All those things are essential and important. So, and a lot of that, and a lot of things changed throughout the years too. You know, it was originally 3 of us, now it's 2 of us, right?
Yeah, that'll happen.
Didn't stay along for the whole ride. So, had to deal with that. I mean, we're still friends. Nothing's changed on that area, but he wanted to do something else. And we continued on with this ride that we were on, because once we're in and once we invested in it, you know, we're going to continue until we reach the mark that we're trying to get to. Right.
But it's awesome because it even changed your own lifestyle, the health side of it. That's just
Yeah,
awesome.
so when we started, yeah, thank you for reminding me. So
Yeah.
when we started, like I said, my friend, it was his idea. He was the one who was in shape. He was already the one that was doing fitness, and I wasn't.
Right.
So, I mean, I've played basketball and things like that, but I wasn't entirely in shape. So originally it started with him doing all the training and things like that. And as time went along and I joined the classes and started thinking about my own health and making my own changes and challenging myself personally to lose
Right.
weight. I did actually
Right.
lost over 40 pounds and became a personal trainer myself. I think that my philosophy in entrepreneur, especially when you're starting and you don't have a lot of resources, is that first has to be something that you can do. That if you had to only rely on yourself, you can do it because not everybody has resources to hire people or different things like that. Though it's a little bit easier to do nowadays, with the the gig the gig economy where people
Uh-huh.
are putting out there, I do this and I do that, and you can pay a couple of dollars to get somebody to do something for you
Right.
without having a salary. It has to first be something that you can do yourself.
Right.
Um, unless you have resources that you can bring in a team and do things like that.
Right.
You have to educate yourself and bring yourself up to a point where, at least in the beginning, the business can survive off what you can do. So that's one. I'm trying to think of what is my next one. I had it on the tip of my tongue before I started talking. Um,
That's right.
um, so that's number one. Number two is dang it, it'll come back to me.
It'll come back. Yeah. Asking
No
about
reason.
but you made me think of something else. It's so important. I was thinking when you said that being able to do what you want to do by yourself, what you can provide, the services you can offer, so that way the business don't necessarily have to die because other people might have dropped out of the race and said, man, maybe, and no personal reason, maybe I don't want to do this anymore. I'm not in it for the long haul. And so I think it's smart, and that's a great strategy that you should be able to provide that as well, depending on, like you said, what business it is. Because some people may open up a salon. The owner may not necessarily have a license in cosmetology, but the workers do. But it would be smart for them or somebody who else they can collaborate with to keep running that business. You don't have to close down the shop because you don't have a license.
Now I remember what number two is.
Right.
Number two is you have to be willing to do whatever it takes to be what your business needs to be.
Right.
Like whatever your business needs, you have to be willing to do whatever it takes. So Antonio was the only trainer at the time. If he couldn't train, we couldn't offer anything.
Right.
So I had to become what was missing.
Right.
Right. So if we need another trainer for personal training or for group classes, I dug in. I learned those things. I became certified, and and it ended up being one of the things that I enjoy as well.
Right.
But I did whatever needed to be done. Right.
Right.
Even if you don't like it, you still have to become whatever the business needs.
Right.
While you're in that incubator, beginning stages, or it's depending on what resources you have.
Right.
Like you were saying about the example that you use, if you had a person in your salon and it was a specialist and they got sick or they just left for whatever reason, who's going to cover them?
Right.
You have to be willing to do that. You have to be willing to, there's many a nights I cleaned that gym from back to front.
Right.
Things that you probably wouldn't like to do, but
That's right.
you have to do.
That's right. That's like
And I'm not against having a team.
right.
That speaks for itself. Having help and things. However much help you can get
Right.
it.
Absolutely.
But you can't let that be a deterrent from you doing whatever you need to do.
Right.
So that's, you guys should be something that you can do. And then you got to be willing to do whatever it takes.
That's that mindset again. And you mentioned a key thing, collaboration is king. It really is. Like you say, people think they have to do everything by themselves. You may start out that way, Like you may open up a ministry. Right now, you're the pastor, you're the usher, you're the doorkeeper, you're the sweeper, but that's what it takes. And eventually it will grow. And as I mentioned in another broadcast, you never know what God will do. There's people that you will come into contact with that'll be there to help you. You just got to get started, like you're saying, just do it. You can overthink something and talk yourself out of doing it. Then you won't do nothing and sit back with the shoulda, coulda, wouldas. That's not cool. Right. You know what I'm saying? So this is so important.
The best way that I've got my business started is just by doing it. Right. You still do your research, you still do your due diligence, but you still have to just kind of do it. And that's where the shifting and the changing comes in, because your business will always change.
Right.
There'll always be something that shifts it. When your business don't change, you go out of business. Toys R Us didn't change. They went out of business.
Right. Absolutely.
Sears, all of these businesses that's being beat by Amazon or something like that, it's because they didn't change. They still have a low business model. They have debt. They can't maneuver. They can't shift anything. So sometimes it benefits to just be light. This age of, entrepreneurs being able to put up websites and create apps and this technical world today is that you can do it at a very affordable price point. And, that helps you because you can always shift. You should always look to be innovative, and then put things in place to support what you're trying to do, but, you have to stay innovative. You have to constantly change, whether that's a name change or creating a new product or something to keep it fresh.
Right.
So, that transitioning, that shifting, it's something that you have to get comfortable with. Like, I read a book, when I was early 20s, I did prepaid legal. My first introduction to business was doing multi-level marketing. And one of the guys told me, he was like, you should get the book, Who Moved My Cheese, right? I was like, okay.
Oh, somebody told me about that book. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's a real easy read, right? So he told me to go. He's like, yeah. Like, go get Who Moved My Cheese. That's a great book. So the premise of the book is you have mice and they run this maze. And so they would put the cheese in the same place every time. And these mice got used to this cheese being there.
Uh-huh.
And then one day, randomly, they moved the cheese to another part of the maze.
Okay.
And all the mice kept on running back to this same place day by day and finding no cheese. And some mice, they didn't adjust to it. They whittled away and died because they couldn't adjust. And another mouse said, well, you know what? I'm just going to take another route.
Okay.
And the cheese. Eventually, that's pretty much the premise of it. But the point is that you have to adjust to change because in life things change.
Right.
Change rapidly or they can change over time. But regardless of the fact, you have to get used to that change because, in business, everything changes. How you deliver a product change. Your clients change.
Exactly.
How you market is going to change.
Yeah.
So, your research never ends.
Right.
That's why it's best to sometimes to just get started. Not in all cases, depending on your business.
Mm-hmm.
Some businesses take heavy research. You got to get licensings, certifications, things like that. It's a period to, a preparation before you can get into business.
Right.
Some other times it's just go and then make those shifts as time goes along.
Right. I was going to say, I like how you're able to problem solve, going from running your fitness outside in the park, which is awesome. And then you realize, okay, we need to shift this. We're going to shift it into a studio, which was probably your goal anyway at first, like you said, because people was charging so much money, but you didn't let it stop you, Craig. That's what I like. You say, you know what, there's another way we can do this. So you solving problems for people, which is so great. And now, like you said, you get a sense of self-satisfaction doing that. But then you shifted from the studio and say, you know what, we ain't got to let this go. We can go mobile, pretty much like how I did the salon thing. We can go mobile and still serve people. And people like the fact that they have a personal trainer. you know what I'm saying, to get this special treatment. And so you're still offering something that people find of value to them. And that was, I just like how you did that whole shifting and changing with it, like you said, with changes. And it makes me think of the brick and mortar too. You know, people don't advertise or market everything traditional like they used to do. It's like now you have to go online as well if you really want to get some customers, because people live online. That's what people live at. They're on the internet. So even for the brick and mortar, they have to also now shift their mindset. Well, I need to utilize social media to, you know, get a website up. It's just so different, but it keeps your business alive when you can shift. It kept your business alive, that you was able to transition into different, you know, like a butterfly, you know, just the more metamorphosis that your business went through. I think that's commendable.
Well, yeah, business always changes. So you always have to make adjustments and change, you know, pricing, products.
Right.
I mean, there's so many things to think about, so many things that has to shift. And let's say you have a business that is successful. Let's say you have employees, you know, sometimes your workforce has to shift, you know.
Right.
So it always changes every day, you know, things that you.
Tools, everything changed. Well, thank you so much, Craig. It was an honor to have you as part of this summit. And we talked about a lot of things, the shifting and the rebranding and transitioning and changing with the changes and learning to adjust and cope. I mean, it's so much in there. And then while you're helping other people, you help yourself. And I think that keeps you thriving as well. So that is so great. Thanks again for being one of my speakers. Let people know how they can stay connected with you or follow you, or if they want services from you, let them know how they can link up with you.
So immediately you can always follow us on Facebook or Instagram or Twitter at Coach Fit Life 2. And then you can also visit coachfitlife.com, which is our platform, which we have blogs, we have videos teaching you how to train. You know, it's an educational platform and a motivational platform. That's what it's meant to be. So if you not sure what to do, or you just need some daily inspiration, motivation, you can go to coachfitlife.com. You can also find us on YouTube as well, our Coach Fit Life channel. So already there's 3 or 4 ways that you can stay connected with us and just enjoy the content. And, you know, we're also going to be doing a free 30-day jumpstart ebook. You know, if you know, whether you looking to start losing weight or build muscle soon or after that vacation, you know, when you put on a couple of pounds, we'll have a 30-day jumpstart plan for you to get right back into, you know, staying in shape. And you talked about health, and health is important because you can't do anything without your health, you know, and health is more important than just exercising, but what you put in your mouth every single day. That's the most important thing. You're not healthy by eating supplements. You're healthy by eating natural whole foods, you know, fruits, vegetables, grains, nuts, legumes. Limit your animal products, your meats, your dairies, things like that. And that's a step. You should always think about your health holistically, not just about how you look or how much you weigh on the scale, you know. And if you had to compare the two, it should be about how you look and not what you weigh, because can't nobody see that. Everybody can see how you look. So, you know, judge your own body when you're working out and you're looking to lose weight. You know, how you look in that dress, how your skin looks, things like that. Take away each of those things, you know, as success, you know. Well, you know, these pants are a little bit loose. Now I have to go shopping for some new clothes because, you know, things are bigger than what they once was, you know. You getting compliments and things like that.
Yes.
You know, you use that as your ammunition to, you know, do your thing. So again, coachfitlife.com, please check us out. You know, catch us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter at Coach Fit Life 2.
Yay! That's it, guys. Get your life. We had to bring that in here because it is a holistic approach. So you need the energy to do what you need to do, all that great stuff. So thanks again, Craig. I appreciate you. Guys, don't forget to keep watching 7 days of wonderful inspiration, motivation, and a push so you can do the things that you love to do. Thank you. We see you again. Bye.